It's the leader. He's the wizard. He's forcing the mouth open.
Well, stop him. Kill him or something.
My dagger is gone. You kill him.
Not me. It's bad luck to kill a wizard.
Wait. There's a better way to take care of a wizard.
I don't know where to start or what we were. Let's see. We actually had an agenda at some point in time, but I've got a couple cards I was going to talk about. I'm just wrapping up the summer derby myself. Did not do well, I'll be honest. Let's see, is this my summer derby in Peru? This was the Swedish. Yeah, this is it here. So I'll share you my screen. And since we don't have any major plans for this evening, I'm going to go ahead and with just the two of us, I want to kind of talk about one of my favorite cards I've been tinkering with for quite a while, and that's my buddy Rasputin Dreamweaver. He's very topical. He started a war in Russia recently. Guy's all over the place. But yeah, so the Rasputin, if you guys have not played him, he's a 6-drop, blue, white, and 4. And he comes down with 7 counters, 7 dream counters, I believe it is. He's a 4/1, and then you can remove a counter to either add 1 mana, 1 colorless mana, or you can prevent 1 point of damage. And on the start of your upkeep, if he's untapped, you can get, he'll put a counter back on, but it does have a caveat. You can never have more than 7, which is kind of a drag. I really wanted to pump him up huge with the Thanos' coffin, but so what I did here in the summer derby, I mean, for one, he's a 6-drop. So I've had pretty good luck with Basalt Monolith to ramp into him. So if you can get that down, if you can get 3 mana, off a Mox, couple lands or whatever, the next turn you drop Rasputin, and depending on what happens that turn, you can untap the Monolith if you need. I'm a big Spell Blast player, so how good Spell Blast been lately, Eric? It's been phenomenal, right?
Yeah, if you're playing against somebody with a lot of Moxes and you're playing with a strip mine, I mean, what my graveyard the other day was like Lotus, 2 Moxes, and a land. I just had like 0 mana source. Everything I would play was either be countered or stripped. It was pretty rough. It was really good.
Spell Blast the first Mox, and then strip the land, and then you're like, all right, Lotus, like I'll Spell Blast that too.
People just keep the hands because they have Moxes in it. That's what you mulligan until you get 2 Moxes, and you can like turn 2 a good creature or something. Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
But so the beauty of Rasputin is now you've got 7 counters on there. You can counter, a Brain Geyser for 5. You know what I mean? Like you can literally counter anything. So honestly, the Spell Blast is mainly there for swords and maybe balance. Possibly lightning bolt, but that ain't that big a deal. You just remove 3 counters. So, if you can stick him with 1 blue mana up, you're pretty much guaranteed he's going to stick around. Of course, the fun play is Rasputin, and then you pull 6 counters, drop a trike right off of it, and then Caracas him back to your hand and play him again next turn if you want. He's a beater by himself, just a 4/1 that sometimes you just start swinging and kills factories, and he can be super annoying. The Summer Derby, I tried to run him with Armageddon. So the beauty of Rasputin is if you can drop him with 1 white up, then you can also crack Armageddon. You use 1 white, 3 off of Rasputin. You got 4 mana plus whatever land you have. You got all the land you're going to need to just run the rest of the game. And of course, the best thing to do with that is a pyramid. I don't think I ever pulled it off. I really wanted to use Rasputin, untap, protect my lands, crack an Armageddon, and go like that. I think I did actually use the pyramid how did I do that? I did one game where the Tabernacle survived an Armageddon. So yeah, I think I did that once. and the opponent had no lands left to pay the upkeep of Tabernacles. So I kind of did that. It did
Wow.
some fun stuff. I threw in 3 lions trying to get some early damage. A lot of 1-2 games. I don't know. There's something here. I think if I was to do this brew with Geddon again, would probably be add Sarah Angels. I think something like that's going to be a little better option. The Lions just weren't right. They kind of didn't do enough. But that was the most recent Rasputin brew. But let me pull up the next one here. See if I can get this. Warren, you I can talk about this for a while. I've been playing. I had to go through and try to figure out how many Rasputin decks I even have played. So this was a space that I really think is cool and want to go back to, and that is with stasis. So if you can get Rasputin out under stasis, he ticks up a mana every turn. So you keep playing your islands to keep paying the stasis cost, and then eventually you hit a candelabra, you use all of Rasputin's counters, untap 6-7 lands, just keep going. And I when I got the stasis lock, it was awesome. I think this might have been Winter Derby. I ran this one. It did work really well, but and then you just kill with vices. But so under stasis, Rasputin he can cast more Black Vice. He can cast more Howling Minds. He can cast Candelabra or Chaos Orb. All these artifacts. When you rip them and you're almost tapped out, you can use all that. So it really had a thing going on. Now I did try to get cute, and sideboard was shops and trikes and tetravis and coffins. So um, you know, people didn't see that coming. Of course, that's fun, but I didn't really optimize the Rasputin stasis candelabra. I've never seen this anywhere. I mean, I'm sure it's been done. Like everybody's done everything. But to me, this was some technology I felt I sort of came up with because I hadn't seen it, and I came up with this, and it did work when it worked. So it was pretty cool to have that option around. I did run Power Sync to try to tap them out. A little different approach, but yeah, I don't know what the better option. Probably just a more optimized sideboard, potentially maybe a couple more Moxes. Wrath of God was good. He also works perfectly with Atanos' Coffin because you can drop him for 7, or for you pay a 6, you got 7 on there, pull 4 of it off, drop a coffin, and then if they try to kill him, you pull 3 off and put him into the coffin. So he puts himself into his own coffin and then comes back out next turn with 7 counters. So I need to probably do, which is also good with trikes. I've never done Rasputin, Trike, Tanos's Coffin. That's probably a pretty solid start of something there too. Let's see. I got some other lesser ones, but just see what this is. We can review it together. What were we doing here? So all right. So this was a song deck. I had Titania's Song.
Now, was this is X point? No, it's not because you have no. It's definitely not. This is EC. Never mind.
Yeah, I got a shop.
Yeah.
I got one shop. I don't know. That seems weird. And one strip. But yeah, so I was trying to use the pyramids again with Armageddon. And when it didn't work, you drop a song, and pyramids are 6/6s that you can play off of Rasputin.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Sorry,
Yeah,
that's sweet.
it's pretty. I mean, people don't see it coming. There's always some value to that. I mean, I would say 50% of the time people have to look up Rasputin. I mean, he doesn't see that much play, and he's just got so much, so much potential. Let's see, this was it's like an earlier version of the same thing, but it's got some here. I'll share this one. Now this has We were doing something funky because I got serrated arrows in here.
This was maybe X point, but we allowed Fallen Empires. Was that what this was?
Or homelands.
Or
Yeah.
Homelands? Yeah.
Yeah, homelands and an X point. That was what this event was. So same core package. I mean, I love the Assault Monolith, Rasputin setup. That's been really good. Just trying to run Howling Mines and Relic Barrier and tap everything out, but similar song and some stuff like that. Um, got one last one here that was actually going to be my card for tonight. I was going to talk about Energy Tap. And where is my
That's a lot of mana. Energy
so
Tap, Rasputin.
yeah, this was a 1.5 event, I believe, that I ran it in. So Energy Tap is, for those that don't know, for 1 blue, it's a sorcery. You tap a creature and you add colorless mana equal to its casting cost. A lot like a colorless dark ritual, but it can get really big. And so I was running Wall of Air. I was running a lot of 3 drops, you know, because if you can take a 3 drop, you hit that with the energy tap, gives you 3 mana plus your other 2. You're into an air elemental. If you're another land, you're into you're right into Rasputin. And this thing came out of nowhere because I ran Disintegrates. But yeah, so you're exactly right. If you untap with Rasputin or whenever, but you know, 1 blue for energy tap, you tap Rasputin, that's 6. You pull his 7, that's 13 colorless mana for 1. Plus, if you happen to, God forbid, straight cast him for 6, you got another 6. That's an 18-point fireball or whatever in normal format. So, um, yeah, energy tap I think is pretty cool. You need to kind of look at your creatures and what you're going to do with the mana. But man, nothing is better than a freaking Rasputin. Trikes are good too. So once you've depleted your trike, you can, for 1 blue, you tap and get 6 colorless, which can be kind of useful for a brain geyser or something. Um, or regrowth, whatever you want to get into. I feel that energy tap's very underplayed. It's just such a cool. It grows with the game. As you get further and further along, it can create more and more. You can tap a two drop to get into your 4s. But yeah, to me it just feels a lot like a colorless dark ritual.
Yeah, I'm digging the Wall of Air into Trike early on. That just seems like you could blow somebody off with that. And then you still have the Wall of Air the next turn.
Yeah,
That's
you don't
pretty
lose a creature, you
nasty.
just tap it.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty. Because I think it's the one from Arabian Nights you have to kill, right? Which is cool for Rook Egg. But this one, yeah, like just an early on Trike, and then you still keep your creature. That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I think this would be kind of fun in just a big mana deck with a bunch of fireballs, disintegrates, um, whatever something you could dump all that mana into, big brain geysers and stuff. But yeah, I mean, that should be like a trivia question. How do you get 13 colorless mana in old school for one island off one island? Like
Yeah.
it's no one saw it coming. So it was pretty cool. I did finish some games out where like they're just winning and everything's great and they're loving life, and I'm just like, all right, untap, all right, you die, disintegrate for 16 or something. Um, yeah, it's I don't know. I don't want too many energy taps because I have been kind of stuck with them late game. I don't know. They seem like they might be good in like a robots build where you just need more colorless. You just like trike into another trike and something like that, or blow up your Suchi. Tap it and blow it up. So you could tap a Suchi for 4,
Yeah.
kill it, get another 4. Could really go off that way.
I'm really liking Vesuvan Doppelganger in this deck because if you can like ramp that out early, you just will always have the best creature, and I think that's a cool card in the sideboard.
Yeah, I mean
And get 5 off of it. Like you want a big clunky card like that in your sideboard for an energy tap. It's cool.
yeah, and if you can doppelganger a trike, it gets 3 counters. The next turn you become, well, what I was doing, I was becoming Old Man of the Sea.
Yeah.
3 counters. So now he's a
Wow.
5/6 that can take anything because those counters
'Cause it
stick around.
the counter stay. Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, I got a whole doppelganger deck that ran around all the +1 counters, trying to bring it in, copying a
Clockwork
Clockwork
Beast.
Beast. Yeah, that was a sweet day. It was just so cool to. I remember I got like 7 counters off the Clockwork Beast. Next turn, I took over the guys and made a copy of the guy's Hypnotic Spectre. So I had a 9/2, burned his Spectre, hit him for 9, made him discard. It was, yeah. That's another deck for another day. But there's a lot of shenanigans can be done with a doppelganger. So I just kind of splashed that in here. Again, this was 1.5 with some special rule set. I forget all of it that went in, but you couldn't run Fireball, but you could run Disintegrate. They'd ban certain things. But yeah, that's been my happy place. Um,
Yeah,
Still gonna
that's
be tinkering around with him.
a really cool way to ramp in formats like 1.5 where you don't get moxes. Like you only have Felwar Stone. Get to turn 3 with the Wall of Air, and now it kind of is almost like you have moxes then. It's pretty cool.
At the time, Wall of Air was hands down the best creature in 1.5. It stopped everything. It stopped the Sarah
Yeah.
Angel. It stopped the Singir. It stopped the Lions. It stopped everything. People hated that card, man. It's that one attack and it flies. Oh, one
Yeah.
five flying, the best wall ever. I ended up buying 4 alphas because I kind of fell in love with it. Like, man, this is the greatest card ever. But
Yeah,
haven't
man.
had the opportunity to go back to that old format again.
Yeah, I think, man, something you didn't touch on with Rasputin, which to me has been the hardest card to play against, with Caracas. So, like, you just always you can block something with it and Caracas it back to your hand, and then you just play it, and now you still have mana to do other things the turn after. It's just like it's so hard to kill. Like you have to have all your creatures have to have like 5 defense to even be able to attack. If you have Crocus and Rasputin.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I think. Yeah, I kind of remember you and I were playing one day, and it was like you had factories or something to block with. I would attack, and then you know, next thing you know, I would just uh, kill your thing, take the counters off, prevent the 3 damage, then
Yep.
float 4 more, bounce him, just replay him, and he's back, and
Replaying.
he's untapped for
Yeah.
1, and yeah, and then maybe I'll pull 1 more counter and do something else while I'm gonna play a Soul Ring or something because you
Yeah.
can. So
You still have mana. Yeah, like it's just crazy to be able to return it to your hand and you still have the mana to play something else. That's really really hard creature to get around unless you're playing with flying creatures.
yeah, I mean, people were like, have been asked like, what's your win condition? Like, a 4/1 you can't kill.
You can't kill
I'm
it.
going to just beat you
Yeah,
down with it.
you only play 1 Crocus. I think you go 2, man, because that's been so hard.
Yeah.
Maybe yeah. I feel like every time I play 2 Crocus, I always draw both of them though. Every
Yeah.
time. But I think it is just like such a nasty combo against other creature decks, or even not even just creature decks, because they can't swords it, they can't tear it, they can't do anything to it.
Yeah, I mean,
Bounce it
swords is
back.
bad. But swords and terror, I don't like those. That's where you need probably leads us into the card you want to talk about is, you stuff some of
Yeah.
those guys.
But like with Spellblast earlier, you're saying Spellblast counters everything but like massive fireballs. Like with counterspell, you have to leave 2 blue open where maybe you have to leave more open with Spellblast. But it's easy. There's like so many plus and minuses. And with the way you're playing it with Rasputin, it's the exact card as Counterspell, but you can hit really early Lotuses, you can hit early Moxes, and it's just easy for you to you can counter Ancestral with it. Spellblast in that deck is so good. Unless you're
Spellblast
playing
was like
against.
my card of the year last year. I still want to get a set altered, and I want to have like each one altering like what I want to counter, like a
Yeah.
balance being destroyed, and a lightning bolt being destroyed, and a swords guy being screwed up, and like the stuff that you
Yeah.
disenchant blown out or whatever. But you know, people still run. Uh, it's the blue and 1 counter spell. It just counters an instant or
Flash
something.
counter.
Flash
Yeah, flash
counters.
counter.
literally no reason to ever play that over Spell
Yeah.
Blast. Because,
Yeah.
you want to counter a lightning bolt, it's a blue and 1. You want to counter a swords, it's blue and 1.
Ancestral, yeah.
Ancestral, blue and 1. So,
Yeah.
all those counters cost just the same. And then guess what? Late game, someone casts an Armageddon, you got 5 mana, you just counter that.
You might play flash counter if you're playing disc because you really are only wanting to counter disenchant. And that's one more mana, so it sounds stupid, but that'd be the only reason I can think of. Because like that deck just wants to protect disc, and they don't care.
The only thing you were ever scared of
It's the
was
only thing you care
yeah.
about is disc.
Maybe.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe that, or like terror, I guess. Yeah, it does cost like 1 more. But
That would be it.
I've never fought the stuff that I've pulled off with that. It just won my heart over. Like
It feels, and that's what you want to do when you're playing blue is kind of throw your opponent off. Like, I mean, you just keep hands that are because you have Lotus in it, and when you can just counter at turn 1, that could mean that your opponent kept a bad hand, and now you're gonna win because you had a spell pierce, whatever it's called,
Spell Blast.
spell blast. Because you had that card, it makes your entire opponent's hand bad. Where like you're not gonna be able to counter spell Black Lotus unless it's late game. Or you can't counter spell turn 1 like Moxes, or if you have a Mox, you can counter the Ancestral. It's pretty nasty for sure.
Yeah, this deck I'm putting together. So there's the what's the event called? The Thrasher.
Yeah, that's coming right up. I just signed up today.
You did? All right. Yeah.
Yep,
So
just did.
it's gonna be over in South Bend, the Thrash Bash. So it's just straight up old school EC.
Yeah, no
I'm not used to that. We do so
counterfeits.
much weird stuff, but
No counterfeits, but you're allowed to play with proxies. So you have to make your own proxies. That's cool.
oh right, okay.
I'm so actually that's how I'm gonna explain people when they like ask, oh, could I bring proxies? Like, yeah, not like cheap fakes though. Like if you want to make your own
don't
proxy,
support China, but if you want to
this is
scratch
this
your
crazy
own,
black market business. No, yeah, make your own. That's super cool. That's
is
the
cool. I
answer
didn't
to
realize
that.
they're doing that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
I'll
no
get to meet
counterfeit.
the Ebon Hand OG.
Yeah.
So I've had like this beef with this guy on Instagram. Like, how are you the OG when I was here? Had your name first.
Well, I didn't know he lived close by because we're actually only like probably 2 hours away from wherever the tournament is, right? So he's the one hosting the tournament. So we only live 2 hours away from the Ebon Hand OG.
Yeah, I know. So,
Pretty
and
cool.
I don't know. He might actually be cooler or more OG than me. I don't really know, but it is kind of fun to talk trash about him. And
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're gonna get a stamped him to Torok, so that's a good reason to go alone.
oh yeah,
It's
that's cool.
It's not a cool like him to Torok you can get. They're all like 10 cents. So if you can get a cool
So Wolf
cheap
him, or
card.
are they doing something else?
Oh, I think it's all Wolf him actually.
Oh,
Yeah.
you better be. Okay, I hope he doesn't.
The
Hope he
best.
doesn't cheap out on us and give us the weird kids in the circle or whatever it
Yeah,
is.
next episode we will just talk about which how that's the best him to Torok art.
Do that.
I'm gonna double check. Yes, yeah, all right. It is definitely all Wolf him. That's in this picture. He might do the other one, so get there early for the best him. Guaranteed.
Talk about good art. Let's move on to the card you've been playing with lately and been wrecking face.
For a while now. I've been playing this card for a long time. This is like kind of how I want to be in life. Like this card is just the greatest, like the greatest big Chad muscle cool guy. I'm nowhere close. That's why I like to play the card because like it makes you feel like you're this big badass dude. I know I don't ever feel like I'm a Shivan Dragon, but when I play this card, I'm like, hell yeah, that's me right there. Not at all, but man, I just love the artwork so much that I had to really dedicate to it, and now I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot with that. This card is like pretty playable.
You have to tell people what it is.
Oh, that's right. We're on a podcast. This is personal
we're on a podcast,
incarnation.
so
I'm
yeah,
hitting the video. This is personal incarnation. Alpha rare. 6 mana, 6/6. You can redirect any damage done to him to your own life points, and if he dies, you lose half your life. So if somebody were to double lightning bolt a 6/6, you could just spend 1 life to redirect it, and it would only have dealt 5. So his only real weakness is like Wrath of God, swords, or not swords, Wrath of
Swords
God.
removes it, yeah. So swords is the most common, and that
Yeah.
doesn't even cost you half your life. You just gain 6.
Yeah, we just gained 6, and actually, it's a white card, so you're playing swords to protect it as well. Because like that's happened. Like I'm pretty much holding swords in case you try to destroy it, so that I can remove it from the game, so I don't lose half my life. It's never really happened and mattered. I play Spirit Link a lot, so I usually have like pretty high life. So even when I like it does die, I'm still usually at like 50. I don't know if I
I don't
hit
know
for
that I've ever
6.
seen it die.
Yeah, like
I mean,
it just like kind of win when you get it. It definitely has died, but man, he's hard to deal with. Like I might lose rather to like flying creatures. I'm not gonna lose to like he's just never gonna die. He never dies really. If they have a bunch of little creatures, maybe they kill me because I can only block a few of them. But the reason I like this card so much is I really like monocolored decks, and because of that, I don't really get to play control decks a lot. So I wanted to make a white control deck. So I've always I really like the deck, but I'm way too casual to like actually care about it. Like I would build the deck to go play against my buddy who had like an EDH deck or something, like not real Magic. So my goal lately has been like a white control deck with Personal Incarnation and Sarah Angel. Um, if you really have to be dedicated to white. Personal Incarnation is 3 white to cast, so I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't play blue in this deck. You should probably play the blue power cards and like a mana drain or something. I just don't. Um,
Mana Drain might be a bit much, but I still think you could, splash in an Ancestor on Time Walk or something.
yeah, you could. You
But
definitely.
the technology that you added Tanos's coffin,
Yup.
and that's amazing because you're running your own Wrath of God, so you can put him in the coffin, cast your own wrath, blow the board, and then bring him back out.
Yeah. Do you have my deck list? Are you able to pull it up?
I don't. I don't think
Oh,
unless you
okay.
can give away.
I sent it as a text. It's okay. I can send it again. Is there a way for us to get it
Oh,
on here?
a text? I don't know, man.
I
What's
sent it
that?
in the you and me and Steven.
Oh, okay, but I doubt it.
Okay. Okay. Well, here. So I'm playing the like
Yeah,
Fortress
just tell us where
4
you're running. That's
Trikes.
fine.
Yeah, sure. Since it's a podcast for the most part, some people watch on YouTube. So the deck is like a lot of mana ramp. I'm playing all the Moxes with the Felwar stones, and I really and I'm playing 4 Trike. So 4 Sarah, 4 Trike, and then 3 Personal Incarnation. So I need I'm playing so many 6 drops. So the only way I was gonna ever survive doing that was with Wrath of God. And Wrath of God just seemed like a really, really bad idea with Personal Incarnation because I would lose half my life a lot of the time.
That does seem like a non-bow there. Yeah.
So yeah, so that's where Taunos Coffin came in. And like when you play Taunos Coffin, you want Trike. And like Taunos Coffin has been like mostly a removal card so far, which is fine. I'm cool with that. Like it just, gets rid of a big threat. Um And then I'm playing like James Day Tome, the Disenchants, the what's the Divine Offerings, and I really am enjoying Spirit Link with all those big creatures. Like Spirit Link and Sarah Angel is awesome. Spirit Link on Personal Incarnation is awesome because you just can really change the course of the game quick.
Yeah,
Um,
even if you're hitting something bigger, if there is such a thing, you still gain the 6, and
well,
you
here,
take a point of damage or two. But
tell me what is bigger. Like once you have this card out, like what's gonna kill you? Like that's the kind of thing that's insane about it. Is like if my cards that I'm afraid of are like Force of Nature, like another really bad alpha rare that I'm not gonna see anyone play.
Lord of the
You know,
Pit, man. Yeah, they
yeah,
go head to
well,
head.
yeah, exactly. Like Lord of the Pit, like something like that. Like really other bad alpha rares is where this card has a weakness. But
But
like if you're playing a
if it's
Juzam
spirit
deck,
linked, I mean,
hmm?
if it's spirit linked, you hit you know, you and Force of
Yeah,
Nature go head to head. You take 3, but you gain 6. So
exactly. Yeah.
you're up 3 life, and it didn't die. Nothing
Yep.
happened, but it's still you gain 3 life, and defended with it or whatever. So yeah, there's not much that stands head to head with it. A lot like
Dude,
this art, like this guy with this balding spot here is
yeah, I
pretty much
forgot we're on a
every creature.
podcast. The artwork's what makes it like such made me just get into it, dude. Because it's like this like nerdy wizard in the back, and he's like, "No, this is what I really am," and he's this like badass. Like, there's no card with more muscles than this card, and I just love that, dude. It makes like I don't know when I'm playing the game, and I got like I think I had 3 personal incarnations in play the other day, and I just was like, man, this is the coolest looking battlefield
This
ever.
wizard's having the best day of his life. He is.
He finally got the 3 white and 3 other. He finally got the 6, and it's just wrecking these. Yeah, dude, it's an awesome card to play. It never dies. You don't have to worry about dying. The problem is just a lot of people don't want to commit to the white.
Mhm.
And it is weird because you could probably the other version I was thinking of this is with like red, so you could play Earthquake because you need like the Wrath of God or Earthquake, but maybe you don't.
Taking double earthquake though yourself. That's rough.
Oh, why?
Because
You're not gonna have an Earthquake for 6.
well, that's true. Okay, I got you.
Just to like survive.
Yeah.
You just gotta live, man. Because like I'm gonna usually hanging in. I think I don't get even like my palms don't sweat when I'm at like 3 life in this deck. I'm like, okay, all right, and then all of a sudden I'm just like, okay, play Triskelion, kill your dudes, block with the trike, next turn personal incarnation, and they're just like, oh wait, all I have is like a white knight. I'm like, yeah,
Yeah.
and then it's
That's
over, and then I just start dropping Sarah's personal incarnations, and I mean, it's pretty common that I end up swords in a personal incarnation and gaining 6 or spear link. It's really not that uncommon. Another card that's pretty cool with it, and I play this in my sideboard, is the Ring of Immortals, which is like a void fate on an artifact. It's a 5-mana artifact that you can, I think, pay 2 to counter an interrupt or an enchantment targeting a permanent you have. So that's good against if you are playing against a deck with maybe a lot of. Yeah, it's from Legends. Ring of Immortals. This card's pretty cool because it also protects like my Jame Day Tome. It also protects 3 to use it. I sometimes play Disrupting Scepter. It stops that. It really stops everything.
It is a good
So
card. It's just expensive, man. What about with Mana Flare? I mean, you ever think of a Mana Flare deck to get, a quick
personal information.
yeah, you get Mana Flare to
Yeah.
predominantly white deck. I mean, I love Mana Flare because you get to play these big mana cards like this, you know what I mean? It's like
And then you could play a Glasses of Urza, Sunglasses of Urza or whatever. I wanted to play that for so long. Your white mana is red mana. The card's so bad, but man, it looks awesome. It's just a card no one plays. I think that would be pretty cool. It'd be hard to justify not playing Shivan Dragon, I think is maybe the problem there.
yeah, that's true.
One thing I do, okay, so when I could maybe justify it with this, like Shivan Dragon and big creatures are sometimes really, really bad. Do you know why they're bad, Dad? You gotta know why. Why are big, good creatures bad?
Meekstone?
Control magic, man.
Troll Magic. Oh, yeah.
If someone control magic's my personal incarnation, I play 3 Wrath in my main board. So I can destroy their personal incarnation. So is that how that works? I've always thought it was. It's never happened. It's owner. So no, I think that I would probably still.
You still own it. It's not its controller. So yeah, don't do that.
For like a year. It's never happened. But every time I play a Shivan Dragon, they're like control magic. I'm like, oh, okay, man. So I guess
that would be wild. So I'm just trying to think. So yeah, I guess you couldn't activate it. So yeah, they would. Oh, that'd be horrible. Yeah, they would take it, just let it die, and you lose half your life.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, dude, this card is super sketchy. You really have to want to play this card, I think. But I think if you do, it's like pretty freaking good. Like, once it's out, I feel in control, dude. There's just no creature that's getting there. He is just the most glorious Chad. It's pretty cool. I have like an Italian one. It says its name is Avatar in Italian, and that's this creature type that he is. I thought that was weird.
Well, I was trying to pull up that arena land, and we got to get Steven on here because I'm also in love with arena. But yeah, for 3, you throw him in the arena, he's going to kill anything that's out there. And if it's big enough, you just redirect it to yourself.
Yeah, why would you do that though? Unless you had a lightning bolt or something.
Well, you can do it to a tapped creature. So you can attack for 6.
Oh,
They,
true.
they block or don't block. And then once it's after combat or on their
I
turn,
see.
you activate Arena, you make him fight whatever they have, kill their thing.
Man, I'm not fighting against a lot of 7/7s a lot though.
Right.
But
So
if
that's what I
you
mean. You throw
were,
him in the arena, and what are they going to do to it? So I guess then they'll try to like bolt it or whatever. But you just redirect it to yourself.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Arena that works with Rasputin. I didn't get into that too, but he can also trigger himself. He can pay the 3 to fight something. He's a 4/1. You got to take the
True.
counters off. But he
And
also
prevent it.
goes with Arena's a wrecking machine in creature on creature matches.
Yeah.
It's just that's the only thing I don't know. We're gonna talk all night about that once to get Steven because he kind of turned me on to it. That's his card, and I'm saving it for him. But yeah, Arena would definitely work with Incarnation because it's gonna kill anything.
Yeah. If you think about why this deck is kind of a good benefit, is the creature base is playing some really strong creatures that don't die to a lot of people's sideboard. Like I don't have to worry about City in a Bottle. I don't have to worry about blue or red blast. King Solomon, which is maybe a thing. Artifact Hate isn't really that good against me because I'm just playing all the Moxes and they're going to destroy my book, which sucks, but that's really not the purpose of the deck. I mean, this deck is good because I have I'm just focusing on getting Sarah Angel out and then a Personal Incarnation. That's why it's good, and people don't have a lot of sideboard stuff against this.
Yeah, and you're usually like unloading, trying to kill Sarah. You're double bolting it or whatever. You're doing everything you can. You finally get rid of that freaking annoyance, and then you drop this. You're just like, I am out of things to do except die.
Yeah, it is really scary against the Abyss, because you lose half your life.
You need that
So
coffin. See, if you get the coffin,
yeah,
you can throw it in there quick and then deal with the Abyss and bring him back later.
right. Like Triskellion's good against the Abyss, and with the Coffin, I can get a pretty big
Yeah.
creature. So I do have like a way to deal with it. You have to be just really picky, like what you swords to plowshares in this deck. You can't just swords like random birds. You don't swords the bird in this deck. No way. You gotta hold on. And it does have a weakness to obviously like black decks. Playing mono white. I
Yeah, I
definitely
could definitely see going with you know, splash and red maybe for some of the early stuff, some bolts, some like you said,
yeah.
yeah, but even a small earthquake to deal with lions and stuff like that's coming out early.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, I could see that. That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, and fireball because like you're just like getting a ton of mana. So like having fireballs. Yeah, I mean an attack with a personal incarnation and a fireball is probably gonna kill somebody. People take a lot of damage with City of Brass and early on factory damage and stuff. You could probably just kill somebody. Like it is so quick because if I go like Mox, if let's say I turn 3 a Sarah and turn 4 personal incarnation, like they're at 10. Like it's just like boom.
Yeah,
Like, it goes.
yeah,
You
felt the
watch their
pain of
life,
that.
but
That's brutal.
it's pretty quick. But I would say, yeah, the big problem is like a bunch of Savannah Lion decks or like black decks, like Order the Ebon Hand is kind of hard to deal with. Play cards like Karma in the sideboard of the deck like this.
Yeah, because you start. I mean, I guess the order you can kill with a trike, which is good.
Yeah.
Um,
I did beat like a real so you would think this deck would be slow, but against like an Underworld Dreams combo deck, putting Spirit Link on Sarah Angel is a pretty much sure way to beat Underworld Dreams because they just can't deal with you gaining 4 life a turn. That
yeah,
was like a pretty and yeah, that was just like pretty solid, man. I felt like I was kind of doomed, but against that deck, you just kind of mulligan, get a disenchant and a Spirit Link, and then you're good. Which is not a lot of control decks can have a good hope against Underworld Dreams, I think.
I'd agree with that. Absolutely.
Yeah, it has benefits of it's just like a casual version of the deck is where I've gone with it.
Casual version of the deck.
Yeah, James Day Tome is a casual card to draw personal incarnation. Totally.
Well, here let's before we wrap up, I was gonna say we got our newest mocks. I think
Yeah.
did we talked a little bit about the Moxes last time around.
Just yeah, a little bit.
Just briefly touched on the black one that was our original one. Um, so those that don't know, we play a lot of anti. We've got a alpha to alliances anti, but we don't restrict it. It's not 40K. It's nothing crazy. So it's whatever format you want to run, whatever color, if you want to run gold bordered or white bordered cards. So there's no cost limit. And we allow moxes and power and stuff if you want. We banned Mind Twist, one contract, one jewel bird. So I think those are the highlights of it. Maybe I guess is strip mine's one and
Factory's one. You don't have to put one
factory's
factory.
one. Yeah. Anyhow, so but other than that, it's pretty much all the old school. Going into alliances is pretty cool. Gives you all the Ice Age alliances stuff. But so no one really wants to use a real mox or lose a real mox. So we've started. The initial one was the black mox. Let's see, I can probably pull that up as well here. Start with that one.
The theory of them are like there's 5 Fallen Empire cycle cards or whatever that like there's implement a sacrifice for the Ebon Mox, which is the black one. So you can sacrifice the Ebon Mox to add black.
And the implements you can sack. I mean, it costs 2 and 2 to sack or something like that, or what are they? 1 to play and 2 to sack.
2 to play and 1 to sack.
Okay, but yeah, so we're kind of using that theme for each of the colors. So the black one is basically either on turn 1 it can be like a dark ritual where you've spent a black and you got 2 extra, so you'd sack it for 2. Then the newest one, Steven actually created original art, painted it, and so we've got the green one, 0, the Ebon Emerald, and tap it, sacrifice, give a creature +2/+2 until end of turn. We have the red one, I think, figured out.
Yeah, it looks cool. These all look
Yeah,
cool.
so I forget which. I've got so many versions of that. So since I'm not an artist, I used AI and had AI generate some different stuff. I believe this is the one everyone liked. Does it seem right?
I think it was
So
this. No, it was the second one. It's similar to that one. I like
not
that
that.
one. I
That
like
one
that.
has nothing. Oops, hang on.
It's the one with it in. That's the one. That's the one they like.
With it in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that everyone liked the lightning bolt, just like shooting across it. I don't know. I like this one with kind of the lightning bolt in the eye. Anyhow, I mean, I got to figure this out, but it's a combination of a couple been asking these AIs on a neural blender and different things to create cool fantasy art and stuff. So this one, tap to add red or second to do 2 damage. What are we doing on the white one? Just preventing 2?
Yeah,
Gain 2?
prevents 2. Yeah, or is it or gain 2 here? Let me see what the card says. Yeah, or gain 2 life. Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's basically healing salve, and then the blue one is you draw 2 and put 1 on top.
Yeah, conch horn. So we did kind of mess up calling the first one Ebon Mox. It should be Ebon Jet.
Yeah, well, the original guy that was helping with this said the jet was like copyrighted by the original artist, so
Uh,
you can't use it, and like no one gives a crap about these dumb
because it
things.
would be
Right?
cool if them it was like the like white one was like the Mox of Leetburr or whatever, and then like
I think it
oh,
still should be
yeah,
the Moxley because like the Ebon Hand is always at war with um,
yeah.
the Order Leaper, right?
Yeah,
So I
I'm
think
painting that
that's
one. I like white too much to let someone else do it. I'm not a
yeah.
painter though. I've been like my canvas that I've been painting on, the paint is thicker than the canvas at this point. I just keep messing up and repainting it. I'm just not a good artist, so oh, that's cool. Yeah,
So
the
this is
back
the
of them.
back. I did the back on these as like a full art. So if someone just wanted to run it as their green mocks in their deck, they could. And then we're limited 1 to 100. We're kind of giving a play set out to the guys. So um, if anyone, an outsider or something wants one of these, you have to win it in ante. I think that I'm hoping over time they become rare and sought after. I don't know, but the next question is: do we do a Lotus? Do we do a 0, add 2 of any color, or I don't know? You had an idea on that, didn't you, for the Lotus?
Yeah, just like maybe adds either colorless, or maybe since it's 2, it adds 2 of any color combination, or maybe it costs 1 and it taps for 3, kind of like a Mana Vault, 3 colorless. Make it, because like Mana Vault is kind of a card that I feel like we're missing in ante because we're kind of wanting to ramp without moxes. So maybe it's like more of like a Mana Vault mox or a Lotus, something like that.
Yeah,
Like,
it could be if it's tapped. I don't know. Yeah, that's a tricky one.
mhm.
Or what about ancestral or a time walk? I don't know. Do we? I don't know if we're gonna get into all those things or not. So the people have them. I guess we'll see. I think.
Yeah,
I don't know. For right now, I'd like to get the 5 moxes. One of the problems though is being that it is alliances. You got Mox Monkey that just blows up.
yeah.
Mox is so easy. You don't even really want to play too many of them. So it's not like everybody's just going to jam all 5 and automatically use them because
Mhm.
what's he called?
Gorilla Shaman.
Gorilla Shaman. Yeah. Um, yeah, it's absurd how good Gorilla Shaman is uh,
Yeah.
against the different.
But so we're having trouble with one of our cousin. He's playing the mono red deck in Alpha through alliances of all just burn spells, and we're not playing with sideboards. So making all the moxes is just gonna make red even better because they get Gorilla Shaman, and if they wanted to, they can play Atog with all the moxes now. Like red is so good. I don't know what we do about that. I think he went like 10 defeated last time or something.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're gonna dial him back somehow a little bit. Um, yeah, but I was trying to figure out how to play Necro against it, and that wasn't working. Just burning myself down out of nowhere. But
What's
yeah,
been the
so
biggest anti cards lost? What's have has anyone lost? I've lost some just pretty cheap stuff like a Balance and a James Day Tome. I want a Shivan Dragon off you, revised.
yeah, I was gonna say I've lost Revised Shivan. I also lost a Thawing Glaciers. It was like 20 some
Jeez.
bucks.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know, yeah, and it's like to Brandon, he'll never play it.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, it hasn't been too bad yet, but there's a few things that it kind of stings a little bit, and you're like, oh man. I don't know. The whole I like the tension of Ante. It's like very competitive, and
Yeah.
I don't play as much jank in that format. I'm actually trying to win because I don't like to just go into it knowing I'm going to lose. So
Our meetups, I mean, our decks are just all ridiculously bad and hilarious, and we play funny decks. But in ante, like it's pretty cutthroat. Like we're playing
full
seriously good decks. Like
incinerating.
what is the best deck is what we want to know. Yeah, we want. If anyone
Yeah.
knows the
So
best list from Alpha through alliances that cost like $120, please let me
yeah,
know. I
that's the
want to know.
caveat because
That's
yeah,
what it
I mean, I think I played with the guys down in Tennessee at Bootleggers Ball last year. They always run Alpha Alliances, and like the one winner was a Necro deck with blue power and stuff like that. I mean, seemed like, but yeah, it's the full power 9, all the moxes, everything in there. Now, Anti, you do get a contract, so I kind of like that in Necro. I'm trying to figure Necro out because it does seem I'm starting to understand the value of fast bond. Um, it's not thawing glacier, it's glacial chasm and the cauldron. So you can whenever you tap a mana, it comes back to your hand, and then you play it with fast bond, and you don't take any damage because of the land. So as soon as you get those 3, you have infinite mana. And if you run Rainbow Veil, you get infinite mana of any color. So it is a combo. You got to get it set up, but then you also have Necropotence, on the draw a lot of times off a ritual or something, and you can draw 10, you can draw a ton of cards really fast. But I don't know. There's something there. I don't know. That's what I'm trying to figure out. But
It's
I don't know.
hard
My
to
blue
draw.
deck did great until I faced freaking Brandon in the burn. It's
Yeah,
just
it's
too
hard to
dang
just draw
fast.
10 cards when your opponent's playing like nothing but ball, lightnings, and incinerates, man. These Necro's tough against the burn deck.
Yeah.
That blue deck crushed me every game. That blue deck was so good with air elemental and counterspell.
That's why I dared to throw in my CE ancestral recall in there, but now I'm afraid because Brandon burned me down and I lost the counterspell before I ever got to Jewel Bird or anything. Like I could have real easy lost ancestral to him. So yeah,
And
I'm rethinking that brew a little bit.
his decks got a lot better because we were kind of talking about some of the jank, and he's now adding like Psionic Blast and Mind Bomb, which is pretty cool. And then he's adding like one of the baubles that like just cost 0 and like you sack it to draw a card next turn to thin his deck out.
All up in his deck down.
Just
Yeah.
he's just going so hard on burn. Like this thing is like 18 land just all in, and it is so hard to beat, man.
I will
Yeah,
get him on here some night and he can talk about how he's the worst winner.
yeah.
Yeah, I know. I wish it went a little faster. You're undefeated 20 games straight, right? Yeah, but it's like it's not firing the way I want it. It feels just a little cleaner. I'm like, dude, it's magic. We gotta have some chance. So.
And he keeps getting cards. When the thing of that hurts about Anti-Man is you just you buy your deck on TCG and you're like, okay, I need 4 Swords to Plowshares, and you buy 4. And yeah, they're only $1 each, but when you lose one, you got to go back on TCG and buy it again. And it's like kind of this chore that I don't like doing. And like
I'm with you.
my wife thinks I'm like spending tons of money on Magic. I'm like, no, this is a 4th edition like lightning bolt, babe. Like this costs
Yeah.
25 cents. Oh, it looks like you got a bunch of mail in the mail. I'm like, that's just like 4th edition cards.
Yeah, I go out and I buy the heavy played stuff and everything because I almost feel
Yeah.
better giving away a crappy version. If I'm getting Gorilla Shaman and they got like damaged, I'm like, yes, give me those. And now I get an extra envelope from the 22 cents I spent on that plus $1 shipping or whatever. But
Yeah, she's thinking I'm spending my whole paycheck. I mean, I'm spending like $4 a week, and it just feels bad. Like, oh, you took my 4th edition balance. Like, I have to go back on TCG Player. Hopefully, they send it. Or what's happened now multiple times is I buy it and I get like a new version. Like, I lost a regrowth, so I buy a regrowth and they send me like the new one from like an
like some
EDH
new,
deck.
yeah, it's like
Like,
foiled out with the
like okay, let's
hologram
buy.
jumping out of it or some crap. Yeah, thank
Sorry, I
you.
can't play this deck because I'm still waiting on a regrowth, and I only have this one. Yeah, it's you never know how long it's gonna take to ship. It's if you want to get good at anti, you just gotta buy like 8 of every card. It feels bad, but it's really you have to buy your deck twice because you're gonna lose cards. The games go fast.
All right, last thing before we wrap it up, we're like an hour. Our art of the week. Check out this Gorilla Shaman. So I love this thing. So it's for one, the art on it, the text, the flavor text is amazing. It's got this mother shaman holding her baby. It's like each generation teaches the next that the artifact is the enemy of natural order. So
That's
like
awesome,
the
man.
gorillas hate it, but like look at this, like what's going on back here in the wall? Like they're stabbing bears. Like it looks like blood's running out of everything, right? I mean, are they
I
not
think
killing?
they're either bowing down to it or killing it. I can't tell. It's a polar bear or a gorilla or something.
It feels like this gorilla on the wall here, this wall painting, he's the king. He's bumping his
Yeah,
chest and everything's dead, like all
yeah.
around him. And then is this baby literally scratching lines right into his mom's chest, or is he
He's just
just
like
pointing at her?
stabbing her.
Yeah, just stab. It's like the kids are so hardcore when they caress you, they rip into your flesh.
Man, yeah.
Yeah. For those who
Big
want to look up,
brother,
it's the Anthony
fat bear.
Waters version. There's two versions of Gorilla Shaman, but this thing was kind of I don't know. There's a new druid of the Juniper Order. So yeah,
Yeah,
so if anyone looking to start an old school club, you could be the Juniper Order. I don't know.
it's like I think Ice Age green cards. I think is where they're from. Because I think it's like a card that does the exact same thing as Ley Druid. Man, that's a hard choice. Which gorilla shaman do you like more? That gorilla shaman is like I
The
think you
other
can
one
play
I
both of them because
also Anthony Waters. So I guess it didn't make any difference what I said there, but frankly,
hates
destruction is best left to the professionals.
Dude,
I
he
mean,
hates artifacts. Like he
he
is
hates them
wigging out,
so.
dude.
Look at his eyes. He's just got red hate.
Yeah, man.
He's coming for your freaking mocks so hard.
Yeah. Wow. The
That's why he
adrenaline.
can activate it. One to play him, one to destroy it. Didn't even just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, he doesn't tap. He doesn't get tired. He
He
will
doesn't
destroy
tap. He just
artifacts all day long, dude.
his hate is on haste. Like he has hatred of artifact hate, whatever haste, whatever that would be.
It would be cool to alter those skulls back there as like moxes, like ones that broken moxes.
Broken boxes that he's destroyed.
Yeah.
I know, yeah. Yeah, he's pretty intense too. So
It's
yes,
gonna get intense though. Like, okay, so Anti with all the moxes is gonna get intense. It's gonna be like super cutthroat. Gorilla shamans are gonna be everywhere. People are gonna be just like, oh, it's gonna be
all right,
ridiculous.
question. Can you destroy a jeweled bird before I activate it, right?
I
So I
think,
mean it would cost you 3.
yeah,
But yeah, if someone drops the jeweled bird and then you try to activate it, you can destroy it in response, right?
yep.
And you can't that anti stays.
So this is just gonna really come down to like red is way too busted in our anti group, man, because we're gonna make more moxes, which makes Gorilla Shaman better, which more moxes makes ATOG better. It's so scary, dude. It's going
Yep.
down. It's crazy.
Hey, splash red. I don't know. And yeah,
It's
I
like
do
lightning bolt, chain lightning, and incinerate. Is that what's called or disintegrate? The one from Ice Age. Which
incinerate. Yeah, it's
incinerate. The card's literally better than lightning bolt in this format because the creature can't be regenerated if you hit a creature. So you can
yeah.
kill
I
like
tried
red
making
skull.
I tried to make like a troll disco thing, and sure enough, you guys just burned right through it instantly.
Yeah,
It was
2 mana
freaking
instant cost. It's much better than obviously chain lightning, but it's in this format better than lightning bolt because it's slower and you just can't be regenerated is huge.
yes. I think toast is an appropriate description.
Yeah, that's we.
Just
If I
straight
lose
burn
one
you
of
out.
those, next one I lose one. I've lost like what 3 or 4 incinerates. Next one I alter is gonna be a burning monkey on there. 'Cause that's what that card does, dude. That card kills monkeys.
This is what that gorilla shaman's seeing in those red eyes right there. He's just
Yeah.
ready to burn it down.
I mean, there's clearly a best deck that we're not seeing because if red's so good, and then there's like contract from below, like drawing 7 cards in red seems really good. So there is clearly a best anti deck somewhere, and it's really scary whenever we get to that.
Just throw in a couple mirror universe or something. You'd be all set.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But there is always Italian. You can get a little kind of
Yeah, but even that's out of control these days. There's
it's a
no
little out of
chance.
control, but you can risk it a bit more. You could play a few Italian cards from Legends. At least that's nice for like chain lightnings.
Yeah, I mean, and they're freaking 25 cents, man. It's
That's
so hard now. You could build such a good red deck. And like red blue with diminishing returns, that has been
Yeah.
my um yeah, diminishing returns has been really a cool. So it's I don't know why it's so bad, but it's a 39-cent ancestral recall. You had
No,
one or
time
time
twister.
twister. Yeah, you add one blue to time twister. It's worth 39 cents. Tells you how bad time twister really is. But yeah, I mean, you shuffle everything up, remove the top 10. I mean, that's not a big deal. You just
It
shuffle
has
everything
been.
back
You had
and you
some
draw
low
10 or draw
library.
7 cards.
Yeah, removing the top 10 cards of your library, then drawing 7 is sketchy, dude, because you've had some tiny decks.
Yeah, well, it's because I played like 3 or 4 of
You
them.
played a bunch of them.
But those 10 cards are irrelevant. You don't know what the top card is anyhow, so whatever is lost is lost. But yeah, and, in conjunction with a burn deck. So I've been the deck I've been running runs Black Vice. So your opponent's probably going to draw 4, especially when you're going to pull a second Black Vice.
Yeah, it's up
So
to
it's second
7.
and third, and if they drew 7, they're maniacs. So I don't know. It's pretty cool. I did. I had poison ivy and spilled my poison ivy cream on like a bunch of them. I'm still running those. They're all jacked up water damage. I mean, new ones are 39 cents. I'm still running the ultra damaged ones. Like, yeah, go ahead, win these. I don't give a shit.
I wish I didn't have to play with sleeves, but I'm playing with like the City of Brass from like the World Championship decks or whatever.
Yeah, that's also the problem with the Ebon Moxes and stuff. Don't have
Yeah,
regular
the
backs, so
Moxes. Yeah,
that's what. Yeah, Brandon in his burn deck, he can't really want to run unless he
yeah.
gets sleeves. So that'll
Playing no
keep him in
sleeves.
control.
True, true. Yeah, that's interesting. Up to 7 cards. So your opponent's basically gonna draw 4 cards, and you're gonna draw 7. That
Yeah,
card's crazy. For
yeah. That,
39 cents a
for
ton.
39 cents. If I told you, all right, I'm gonna make Time Twister, but you draw 7, your opponent draws 4, but it costs 1 more blue. You're like, damn, that's busted. No one,
Yeah,
I've never seen anyone play a diminishing returns in my
yeah.
entire life of Magic.
It looked like the sets there were some reprints of it. Maybe that kind of kept the cost low. I don't know. That's weird. Yeah, it's in
I
6th
don't know. There's
edition
a Masters edition was
That's
probably online.
online. So
It was
just
on
6th edition.
sixth edition. They printed it.
Oh, dude, that looks so
And Eternal
ugly.
Masters.
Uh,
That's cool art.
Yeah, it looks cool. The 6th edition one looks awful. That's the one I would play in my anti deck. You purposely want to make the like cards look
Oh,
awful.
it's so bad with the white border and the gold lettered 6 and
It has the original art, but the white border, the big 6, just look
the
awful.
prices. They'll pay you 35 cents for each one you take.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think we'll just have to keep checking in each week on Anti because we play a lot of it, and I don't know. It's a format that can be solved, and like it's gonna be solved quick because it's getting pretty
It's
cutthroat.
Magic, man. Having Ice Age and Alliances in there is huge.
Yeah,
Such
dude.
a big difference. So I don't know. We got to figure out what. Yeah, I need to do some research on what's strong against red, and just make sure healing salve or something like that.
Yeah. Obviously, black is dude.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
strong.
discard's not bad. If you went just hard on hymns and stuff
Yeah.
like that, hypnotics are probably gonna die, but
Yeah, right.
yeah, a lot of discard stuff isn't bad. All right, well, that was about everything I had for this week. I don't know if we want to cover anything else. I think it's been a decent episode. So
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to make a new. I want to just play my personal Incarnation deck now, but if we're gonna have a new card to talk about next week, I gotta make a new deck. I really would rather play the personal Incarnation deck. I could play it.
I can't next week, and
Okay.
I
So
mean, I got so many things I could talk about. I can go forever, so
yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Not too worried, but yeah, I mean, so yeah, I'm thinking of running, Nicole Bolas at this Thrash event, but he dies to both elemental blasts and stuff. So you know what's good? You know what's good with that? Ankle's tome. I'll just make him
change his
white.
color.
Yeah.
Wow.
So when they bring in all they're like, oh man, I got 8 blasts for this deck,
Yeah.
and then they'll see that, and I'll just reanimate I'll animate Nicole Bolas out of the graveyard. They're like, hey, I'll blast him. I'm like, I'll make him white. I'm
Yeah,
like,
man.
you got to be kidding me. So yeah, so I'm gonna throw a tome in the
Sideboard.
tomb sideboard. Yeah, last week's card's gonna come back around. That's a horrible deck. I just want
No, you beat my deck with it.
I did. Because I reanimated your
My
your
skeletons
strikes
and stuff, dude. Yeah, it was
I'm
scary.
good with it. Yeah, but other than that, sure. So yeah, next week's gonna be bad for me because I got stuff multiple days. I think even the next week I might have to travel for work down in North Carolina. So I don't know. That's why I wanted to go ahead and get an episode in tonight. But these are fun. I like them. I don't know if anyone else does, but whatever. So I'm having a good time.
That's right, for sure. Keep it old school alive. Yeah, great talking, man. See you in a few weeks then.
All right, well,
I'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow.
In the internet world, I'll see you in a few weeks.
Yeah, internet. Yeah, well, let's get back together here in a couple weeks. Do this again.
Sure.
All right, man. We'll see you.
See ya. Bye.
Bye.
Get on a big wheel, feel
wheel.